Hey, what's up, Last Nation? Yo, it's your boy Les TV, and yo, I'm back again with another video for you guys. Yo, this is part 2 of the 14 more horror stories animated compilation of 2016. Hopefully, bro, I don't jump. Oh my god, yo, in the last video that I made, I did it halfway, and this is the second half, the last half. And I think there's another compilation of the scary animated videos. I'm going to watch that one next. I'm not pretty sure when, but I'm going to do that. I'm going to leave the link to the last video, part 1, in the description below. And also the link to this, the creators, in the description below also. So yeah, man, let's get into the video.
He had been living down there for God knows how long. And I'm just grateful that for
I think we ended with this part on my last video.
Because I haven't seen or heard from him since. All I can say is that
I
man
need
is
to put the thing up, my
ill.
fault. The smiling man. Oh my god, yo, I've seen this video. Like the real life version of it.
I've always been a night person, so I would often find myself bored after my roommate, who was decidedly not a night person, went to sleep. To pass the time,
sometimes, yeah, I like
walking
walking
at night.
Go for
long walks and spend the time
with
thinking.
my dog.
I spent 4 years like that, walking alone at night, and never once had a reason to feel afraid. I always used to joke with my roommates that even the drug dealers in the city were polite.
There's no one there, dude.
But all that changed in just a few minutes of one evening. It was a Wednesday, somewhere between 1 and 2 in the morning, and I was walking near a police-patrolled park quite a ways from my apartment. It was a quiet night, even for a weeknight, with very little traffic and almost no one on foot. The park, as it was most nights, was completely empty. I went down a short side street in order to loop back down my apartment when I first noticed him. At the far end of the street, on my side, was the silhouette of a man dancing. It was a strange dance, similar to a waltz, but he finished each box with an odd forward stride. I guess you could say he was dance walking, headed straight for me.
Dance walking.
Deciding he was probably drunk, I stepped as close as I could to the road to give him the majority of the sidewalk to pass me.
Oh, I would do the same thing. Wait, running the other fucking way.
He was moving. He was very tall and lanky and wearing an old suit. He danced closer still until I could make out his face. His eyes were open wide and wild, head tilted back slightly.
The way they animated it, it's so
his
creepy.
mouth was formed in a painfully
like
wide
Jeff the
cartoon
Killer,
of a smile. Between the
but
eyes
Jeff
and
the
the
Killer's
smile,
like more pale.
I decided to cross the street before he danced any closer. I took my eyes off of him to cross the empty street. As I reached the other side, I glanced back, and then stopped dead in my tracks.
He was gone, bruh.
He had stopped dancing and was standing with one foot in the street, perfectly parallel to me.
Damn.
He was facing me, but still looking skyward, smile still wide on his lips. I was completely and utterly unnerved by this. I started walking again, but kept my eyes on the man. He didn't move. Once I had put about half a block between us, I turned away from him for a moment to watch the sidewalk in front of
to be honest, my opinion, I think I'm kind of getting better at this YouTube stuff. Like each video, yo, it's getting better. I'm just gonna keep pushing on these vids, man, for y'all.
The street and sidewalk ahead of me were completely empty. Still unnerved, I looked back to where he had been standing to find him gone.
Yeah, that's
For
what I
the
was
briefest
talking about.
of moments, I felt relieved, until I noticed him. He had crossed the street and was now slightly crouched down. I couldn't tell for sure due to the distance and the shadows, but I was certain he was facing me. I had looked away from him for no more than 10 seconds, so it was clear that he had moved fast. I was so shocked, and I stood there for some time, staring at him, and then he started moving toward me again. He took giant, exaggerated, tiptoed steps.
Fuck
As
no!
if he were a cartoon
I would have
kicked
it, bruh.
Except he was moving very quickly.
Right, why are you standing there?
At this point that I
For
ran
what?
away or pulled out my pepper spray or cell phone
Bruh, I
or
would
anything
have kicked
at all.
it. Like,
But I didn't. I just stood there.
no one is
completely
pantsing at
frozen
me like
as
that.
The
Like,
smiling man crept toward me. And then he stopped again, about a car length away from me. still smiling his smile.
Like, yo, I'm 6'1", and my legs are pretty long. Like, I'm getting it.
When I finally found my voice,
Giddy up,
I blurted
nigga.
out the first thing that came to mind. What I meant to ask was, "What the fuck do you want?" in an angry, commanding tone.
Shit.
What came out was a whimper. What the fuck? Regardless of whether or not humans can smell fear, they can certainly hear it. I heard it in my own voice. That only made me more afraid. But he didn't react to it at all. He just stood there, smiling. And then, after what felt like forever,
hold up, yo, I need a bottle of water. Yo, I'm sorry, yo, my throat kind of dry. Fuck, where they at? Oh, that was refreshing. Alright.
Round, very slowly, and started
bro, look at that nigga, bro.
Away.
Fuck no.
Just like that. Not wanting to turn my back to him again, I just watched him go until he was far enough away to almost be out of sight. And then I realized something. He wasn't moving away anymore.
Nigga, he's
nor
coming.
was he dancing.
He's sprinting for your ass,
as
nigga.
The distant shape of him got bigger and bigger. He was coming back my way. He was coming back my way. And this time he was running.
Fuck, I would have kicked it.
I ran until I was off the side road and back onto a better lit road with sparse traffic. Looking behind me then, he was nowhere to be found. The rest of my way home, I kept glancing over my shoulder, always expecting to see his stupid smile, but he was never there. I lived in that city for 6 months after that, and I never went out for another walk. There was something about his face that always haunted me. He didn't look drunk. He didn't look high. He looked completely and utterly insane. And
bro, I would never want to experience that. And you know, with me watching these freaking creepy videos, like the smallest noise will like have me jump out of the chair like that, bro. Like, he watching these scary videos at night, yo. Oh my god, but y'all want me to watch them, yo. Oh my. Whatever for a less nation, yo. The camping stories. I mean, TrueCamping Stories, my fault.
So me and a couple of my buddies went camping last summer alongside the Willamette River. We actually had a decent hike into the deep end of woods. We did some night fishing, listening to music, and basically drank to the point where everything was funny later in the night. I would guess we finally called it a night somewhere past 2 a.m. I shared a tent with one of my buds, while the other two shared another tent. We heard them laughing about something. At first we laughed at the sound of their laughing, but it soon got annoying and we yelled for them to shut up. One of them responded, "It isn't us." I sat up, startled at the response.
We did the same thing, bro.
It was the sound of only one person laughing, and it didn't sound like either one of my friends.
Fuck all of that.
Even in my drunk state, I realized how odd it was for somebody to be out this far in the
woods.
Right,
nigga, it's late as shit. The fuck are you doing?
The laughing gradually got closer and louder to our campout. My friend shot up and looked at me with a
bro, you would have found me running across the fucking pond, or whatever the lake, whatever the fuck that is, whatever body of water that is, bro. I would have been running across.
I could make it out very clearly to be the laugh of a male, probably in his 30s or 40s. He sounded like he was as drunk as us, messing around with friends, but we only heard his laugh, nobody else. There was something indescribably creepy about his laugh, too. As if it was missing something to it.
What?
You had to be there to understand what I mean.
How the fuck you be missing something
at the edge of our campsite?
I mean, why? That shit's very discreet.
We couldn't hear any footsteps at all. Now that may not seem like a big deal. It was impossible to move through that without making noise. And finally, all of a sudden, the laughing stopped completely. We had no idea where whoever that was standing, as he hadn't made a single stepping sound. We sat there in silence.
Yo. I hope to God my little brothers do not come downstairs again, bro. Cause that last time, I was fucking horrified, bro.
friend was clearly freaking out, but he was keeping it together the best he could. Finally, something broke the silence. The sound of something rubbing against the cottony fabric of the tent.
Bruh.
We saw the outline of a hand through the moonlight, pressing on the tent. We both screamed at the top of our lungs before getting out of the tent. We ran as fast as we could through the woods, our other friends following us. After about 5 minutes of running, we somehow found our car. I actually puked from running so much before taking the wheel. I don't condone drinking and driving, but I still believe we were just in this situation. By far the most horrific experience of my life. No idea who or what the hell that was, or what they wanted.
Yo, I've almost ran, like, so much into me coming to a stop. Yo, I almost threw up, bruh. It just happened, like, fucking last weekend. Jesus. Nightmares that read into reality.
I was having a horrifying dream.
Damn,
possibly the most disturbing nightmare of my life.
Even though you animated, bro,
I was
you
in my
still get
house,
it.
or the closest thing to my house that my dream could produce. Ironically enough, I was in bed in this dream, or at least I can only start remembering past the point of my lying in bed. And all of a sudden,
oh fuck no, that scared
downstairs.
Me. That fucking scared me.
I walked downstairs in the dark, not turning on any lights, to where I thought the sound was coming from. I was on my middle floor now. The dream was telling me to go downstairs to my laundry room.
Fuck no.
So I did. But as I got there, expecting the noise to be louder and closer, it sounded like it was just as far as before. Now I was going upstairs to the kitchen, and it's strange. Outside of every window was complete blackness, not general nighttime darkness. There was
yo, y'all know what y'all really like me for me to do, yo, is to post like a scary fucking gameplay. Y'all would really fucking like that shit, because like I would be fucking scared as fuck playing a scary ass game. You haven't played a scary game in a fucking brick. Cause I don't fucking like them, bro. Mostly on fucking GTA, Fallout 4, or fuck, I don't even fucking know, Infinite Warfare or some shit. Wait, let's get back into it.
This dream was my house. Now my dream started to suggest that the banging sounds were coming from upstairs, so I went back upstairs and was eventually led to the attic door.
Why was she green?
It was surely beyond that door. I opened it. There was an old woman standing by a bunch of boxes.
What?
She was slowly but loudly slamming her hand on one of the boxes, producing an unnatural sound. I tried to quietly step back away from the attic, but the old woman turned around, opened her mouth twice as wide as anyone humanly could, reached out her arms, began to scream.
Oh, fuck no!
Toward me.
Oh, shit.
That's when I woke up.
Bruh.
I thought it was just a horrific
No, nigga,
dream,
you better go
but
check
when
your
I heard a
motherfucking...
bang coming from downstairs.
Oh my...
A bang similar to what I heard in my dream.
Dude, no, nigga, you got a ghost in your fucking grave, bro. Get the fuck.
On my way downstairs,
no, why would you fucking go?
It was the front door.
The fuck...
I got the butcher knife from my knife holder in the kitchen,
alright.
crouched behind the door.
Yo, you're like
I was
fucking
waiting for
assassin.
the next time he would pound on the door, and I would warn him to go away. I waited for a good minute in silence.
That fucking old bitch.
And finally decided to take a quick look through the window.
I'm fucking watching Insidious or whatever the fuck. These old fucking ladies got me all the way fucked up.
I couldn't tell if he was facing me or looking at me or not, but he was surely the one who was pounding on my door at 4 in the morning. He walked away down the sidewalk moments after he must have noticed me. The pounding on my door was the kind of pounding you would expect from someone trying to break in a door, not to get a house owner's attention.
Damn.
I thought it was just crazy and horrifying that the pounding and banging from this potential robber or killer didn't wake me up. Rather, became the key point to a horrifying dream.
The Motel A.
I was 19 years old at the time, working at a sketchy motel. The motel was pretty run down, and the majority of people who stayed there were locals that were just doing things they weren't supposed to be doing. Let's just say the cops came by multiple times a week.
Damn.
I worked as both a front desk person, checking in these creeps all hours of the night,
Mark,
and as a housekeeper
too.
who got to clean up their nasty, vomit-smelling rooms afterwards.
One
One afternoon, I was working as a housekeeper in the second building of the motel on the backside furthest from the office. I hated working over there because it not only had the most worn-down rooms, but it was always pretty vacant over there, way too quiet for comfort. I began cleaning one of my last rooms and wanted to get done in a hurry because it was getting late.
What the fuck is that noise?
I was washing the mirror in the room that I was cleaning when all of a sudden I saw a man in the reflection staring at me. He was mid-50s, dirty, with long, greasy hair. Startled, I screamed, "Oh my God."
You cute.
I told him he scared me. The room I was currently cleaning was vacant, so there was no reason why this man should have been in there watching me clean. However, we just had a meeting on customer satisfaction, and my boss was really pressuring us to be more polite and help the guests any way we could. Sir? I asked him cautiously. Can I get you anything? Towels?
17.
The man just stared back at me with a crooked grin and held out his hands to me. I thought maybe he was handing me a tip for cleaning his room earlier, but
Ain't no
when I looked down,
tip.
I saw he was holding a $100 bill.
Oh.
Alarms started going off in my head.
Fuck that mean?
No one tips $100 on a $40 a night room. The man just smiled and said his name was Terry. He said he was staying in the room next door with his wife Sherry, and sort of joked about their names rhyming. He smelled like car oil and alcohol. When I asked him why he was trying to hand me $100, he laughed deep in his throat and said,
"Fuck this
Me and my wife were watching you, and we just wanted to have fun with you." I felt like my heart jumped into my throat. No, I can't do that, sir. I'm sorry. I wanted to run out of the room screaming.
Yo, she got them fucking Naruto eyes, you know? I mean, no, Sasuke got that shit.
The man smiled again, taking on a softer tone of voice, and invited me to come into his room to meet his wife, just to talk as friends. I nervously told him no again, and that I had a lot of work to do for the day. I prayed to God he would just go away, and eventually he did. He grunted and walked off in what I assumed to be the direction of his room.
You coming back. Come back for that ass.
There is no wife, I thought.
Right.
This man could try and kidnap me.
Right.
I was 110 pounds
Good
at the time,
ass
and
fucking
not very strong.
intentions.
He could easily overpower me. I locked the room from the inside and went directly to the phone to call my manager at the front desk, but the phone wasn't working.
You cut the motherfucker.
Adrenaline began pumping through my veins, and despite what I was always told not to do, I was panicking. Did he cut the line? No, I thought. This is a crappy motel. It happens all the time.
Nah, bro.
I just have to get out.
Your ass is gone.
I remembered that I had my cell phone out on my housekeeping card, but that was outside the locked door.
You fucking dumb ass.
I'd have to open the door to get it. I cautiously opened the door to the room that I was cleaning and peered out. I didn't see anyone, so I frantically began searching my card for my cell phone.
Your phone gone. Nigga got it.
I was wasting too much time looking for it, so I just decided to run as fast as I could and make a break for the front desk in the office. Then from behind me, I heard the man again, but this time he was screaming to someone else. "She's running, she's getting away."
What? Nigga, who you talking to?
I could hear his shoes slamming against the pavement after me. I quickly turned the
corner, grabbed
some
my fucking
parkour
shit, hopping over shit,
and locked the door. Within moments, I heard the sound of the dirty guy and someone else running outside, searching for me. I stayed in that stockroom for 30 minutes shaking until I could no longer hear him searching for me. I finally got the courage to run the rest of the way to the front desk.
Go, girl.
When I made it there, I collapsed into my boss's arms and he called the police. The man and whoever else was in the room with him peeled out before the cops could arrive, and I was beyond shaken up. According to the police who ran a search, this wasn't the first time he had done something like this, and he was actually wanted for sexual assault, gross sexual imposition, and in the past was once charged with rape.
Really, nigga?
A few weeks later, on what happened to be my birthday, this guy was caught. A few weeks after that, I quit. I will never again work at another motel.
Fuck that, bitch. Work at McDonald's. Not McDonald's, bro. You can do better. Scary Ouija board stories. No, bro. I just saw that new movie OUIJA like a couple weeks ago. Oh, fuck no, bro. Watch that movie, bro.
One of those old vintage Parker Brother Ouija boards.
I would never fucking play with this motherfucker.
When I was a kid, I always wondered what it was.
Oh, motherfucker will fuck your whole life up.
Board game, until one
From
day
movies,
I found
my
out
experience,
what
that's how I know.
really is, and immediately dug it out of the closet.
Like, why do you own one?
Out with me, and eventually got him to play
Bruh.
along.
You
We put
and
our
your little
hands
brother
on the
fucking
planchette,
retarded.
and I began asking
Well,
my typical
intellectually
cliche
disabled.
questions
Let me
like,
just put it like
is there
that.
anybody there? And can you answer me? Other than my brother jokingly moving the planchette around to imitate an answer from some kind of entity, there was no real response.
I would have been like, fuck no, nigga.
After getting bored, we put the game back in the box. I did a little research that night to find out how to make Ouija boards work. Many people said online that the most ideal environment when using a Ouija board is in a dark room only lit by candles.
I just whispered that a little bit.
So when my parents weren't home, I managed to gather like 6 or 7 candles and convinced my brother to try it one more time.
Nigga, you is a dumb
I lit the
ass
candles and set them around the table in the dining room with all the lights out. We tried one more time. I asked again if there was anybody there. The planchette began to move. I told my brother to stop moving it, but he swore he wasn't. I told him to move his hand away, and he did. It kept moving. My brother thought I was messing with him, but I didn't pay attention. The planchette landed on the word yes. I was only 9, so I was legitimately shitting myself. My older brother had to take over. He asked the question,
bro, you're not
"Are you
supposed to
a good
remove your
spirit?"
hands until you so you can buy whatever.
There was a
the
5-second pause before my brother's hand moved along with the planchette to the word no.
No, that's when
We both looked at each other.
No, burning
and at
it
this
don't
point,
help.
I ran to my room
My
and shut
movie
the door
logic
behind
with
me,
oh
but
fuck.
he continued on with the so-called game. I heard his muffled voice come from down in the dining room when all of a sudden I heard him screaming at the top of his lungs. I ran back downstairs to see what was wrong. He was holding up his shirt, revealing a small open wound that almost looked like a claw mark.
Damn.
He told me to set the fireplace immediately, and I obeyed.
Burn that motherfucker.
He threw the thing in the fireplace
That don't
and told
work,
me to
though.
never speak of what happened to anybody.
That don't work.
We have never used a Ouija board since.
Why would you use it in the first place? Y'all like this dumb. I mean, I watch the movies, man. I mean, bro. No, man. No. No, my nigga. No. Hide and seek horror stories. Bro, what the fuck is up with these fucking stories, man? What the fuck are people doing? Bro, what the fuck is wrong with this fucking world nowadays, man? This compilation of 2016, nigga, last year. What the fuck? Bro, not. Oh my god, bro. I can't wait for the 2017 one. Holy shit. I don't even want to hear the 2017 one, bro.
They lived on a
I
small
might be in that
farm with
bitch.
plenty
It's
of
like,
open
no.
space, and we
Hopefully
could run around
not.
doing
Shit.
pretty much whatever we wanted. If we thought we could get away with it, the 3 of us would sometimes cross over to the neighboring farm about half a mile away. It had been abandoned for decades, with a scattering of derelict buildings and other structures still standing on the property, just begging to be explored. This was, of course, a gold mine for 3
I would explore
adventurous
that
young
shit,
boys
too.
such as ourselves.
And
Especially
your
after my
friends.
cousins told me stories about the deaths
And
that
blogging
took place in the
them,
house. It was pretty classic fare. Man goes crazy, axe murders his entire family,
Damn.
hangs himself, returns every night as an angry spirit looking for new victims.
Damn, nigga.
Good, grisly stuff.
God.
Even at that age, I knew they were probably making it up, or at least embellishing old rumors. But seeing as how the setting lent itself so well to such tales, I allowed myself to buy into it. One afternoon, we decided to play hide and seek.
Oh shit.
When it was my turn to hide, I ran off for a flimsy brown barn that had living quarters on top and climbed the stairs looking for a good spot. There was still furniture inside, and personal belongings lay scattered across the floor. I maneuvered over broken dishes, tattered clothes, and crumbling books, eventually coming to a small room with a closet.
I would have
Jackpot.
sold that picture.
There were
Pawn
even
Stars,
long black
dude. You already
dresses still
already
hanging
know.
on the rod that I could hide behind. I stepped inside and managed to force shut the
Nigga,
folding
you
door.
dumb.
My only illumination was a
There
slit
was
of sunlight
somebody
that
else in
shone
that
through the
fucking
crack in the
closet
door
with you.
from a nearby window.
My assumption.
I crouched down with knees tucked into chest and waited. Some time passed, and there was still no sign of my seekers.
Hell no.
I waited some more, debating if and when I should give myself up.
But something that's not your
After
friends
nearly
coming
an
for your
hour,
ass.
this was starting
Today,
to get
nigga.
boring. My head drooped.
God, shit.
I woke with a jerk. It was pitch black.
Damn.
Drowsy and confused, I forgot for a minute where I was or what I had been doing.
Damn, no.
As it came back to me, the realization that it was now nighttime
No.
and that I had been abandoned here filled me with sinking dread in the pit of my stomach. I tried to get
How the
up, but a sudden
fuck?
cramp in my calf kept me grounded.
Oh yeah, bro.
I
Fucking
squirmed
hate
about,
that
waiting
shit.
for it to pass. when I heard a door slamming shut downstairs and instantly froze. One of my cousins? There was a brief period of silence.
Nigga, unless your cousin a
footsteps
ghost
at the bottom of the stairs.
Your ass is grass,
but
nigga.
Not just footsteps, a thud too. After every other step. These weren't the footfalls of a child.
What the fuck is that?
They were slow, heavy, deliberate. I held my breath, praying they would go away. They did not.
Bro, I like the animated ones so much better than the ones with just like that picture over top. Cause you like really get into this shit.
After another moment of silence, the walking resumed. This time along with a steady scraping sound, like something heavy being dragged across the floorboards. The footsteps made their way through the debris and wandered aimlessly through the various rooms.
I just scared the shit on myself. My TV, yo.
Something faintly putrid.
I'll show y'all later.
The constant scrapes sent cold shivers coursing down my arms and back. My worst fears were realized when the steps reached the bedroom doorway. They got closer and closer and finally stopped directly in front of the closet door. I couldn't see a thing. After an agonizing pause, they continued on over to the other side of the room and out the doorway again.
You would have heard my heartbeat
down the hallway.
You feel me? You would have heard it.
I waited for what seemed like an eternity. There were no more sounds now, and I was trying to build up enough courage to open the door and flee.
Your ass is gone.
3 things happened simultaneously just then. I was bombarded with a smell I can only describe as fresh roadkill. I heard raspy breathing behind me in the dark closet, and I felt hot breath against the nape of my neck. That was enough for me to hurtle myself out from the confines of that nightmare space, relying on memory and scant moonlight to navigate through the darkened house. All the while, I heard footsteps chasing behind me, closing in with terrifying speed. It was a clumsy, torturous escape, full of trips and bumps and blind stumbling. I never looked back. At least, not until I had burst out the front door and into the country night.
This is a little ass kid.
I saw absolutely nothing. There were no more footsteps,
unless there's something behind you after you're trying to fuck around.
That didn't stop me from running, though, all the way back to my aunt and uncle's house. There was a police car in the driveway when I got back. My parents were there too, worried sick. Everybody demanded to know where I had been. Apparently, when my cousins still hadn't found me by evening, they'd returned home to tell their parents.
Damn.
Eventually, the police were called in and informed me that they had already scoured every building on the farm. The insinuation that I was lying about my whereabouts didn't go unnoticed. None of it made any sense. It wasn't until years later that one of my cousins filled in a final piece of the story. He and his brothers had spent hours searching for me like they said, but the part they didn't tell anyone was that they thought they spotted me in the window of the bedroom I was hiding in. And when they got closer, they saw that it wasn't me. A young boy neither of them recognized was smiling and waving down at them, and gesturing for them to come upstairs. Nigga. That's when they ran back home. All of this while I slept in the closet.
That was scary. That was sharp as fuck in my ear. The Christmas Horror Story. I don't even want to watch it anymore,
This story took place about 5 years ago, Christmas Eve night.
Fuck no.
And I had just finished placing presents under the tree.
I got another video freaking uploading.
I mean, it's processing now. Before bed. My son Jake, who was 4 at the time, was standing by the stairs leading to the basement. I asked him what he was doing up so late.
I got no chill.
He pointed down the stairs and said, "Santa." I picked him up and carried him back to his room. I took a glass of water and went to bed. I woke up around an hour later to my son running down the hall outside my room. I sighed and got out of bed. As I was going down the stairs, I saw Jake by the tree looking at presents. Then he ran past me into the basement stairs again.
What?
He pointed down the stairs again. This time I looked down the stairwell, and my heart dropped as I saw a black figure sitting on the bottom step.
Fuck no.
I almost screamed, but I somehow held it in.
How?
I pulled my son quietly away from the basement door and closer to the front door of the house. I moved my hand away from my son's mouth to reach for the lock in the doorknob. I tried to pull the door open as quietly as possible, but it was pointless. The squeaky hinges let out the usual ear-piercing screeches, and I cringed in my mouth as I did. Suddenly, there were heavy stomps coming from up the basement stairs.
Nigga, your ass is
I
done!
and pushed open the storm door and practically threw Jake outside.
Yo, oh my God.
I shut both doors behind us and we ran to the neighbor's house.
It's cold outside.
I rang the doorbell as fast as possible, probably 30 times before they answered. After that, we went inside and stayed there and waited for the police. Whoever that person was gone, though, as determined after the police conducted a thorough investigation of the house. I ended up lying to Jake, telling him that actually was Santa Claus. But a few years later, he remembered the incident and became a little more wise to what actually happened.
Nigga was having dreams. I'm telling y'all. I don't know. Yo, that's the end of the freaking video, man. That shit uploaded. Oh, fuck. Last Nation, yo. Why do y'all put me through these horrifying and tearing videos that y'all want me to watch so freaking bad? Like, I gotta keep watching more for y'all. This is scary, man. I don't like that scary stuff unless I'm with people. Fuck, man. That's OC, yo. That, bruh, the last one, bruh. What the fuck? Santa Claus and the little ass kid fucking sitting at the fucking... I mean, yeah, y'all know what he was doing. Y'all just seen it, yo. But when I get my own place, yo, this shit blurry as fuck. But, yo, when I get my own place, bruh, I'm having cameras every fucking way. Like, no fucking joke, bruh. I gotta be cautious as shit. So, yeah, that's why I'm gonna do that, bruh. Bro, this channel is about to get far as hell. Like, I can feel it. Freak, yo. I need to post a gameplay. Like, I was trying to, like, pop something up for y'all guys today using the Elgato software or whatever, but it was just too much lag. And, like, when I tried to, like, hook up my webcam to it, my Logitech, it was just more lag, bruh. So I just gotta keep working at that, try to get that right for y'all guys, and post out a gameplay. I mean, yo, at the beginning when I was trying to post our reaction videos, like, that was hard too. There was hell of lag. Like I know my first couple videos they had lag in it. I'm pretty sure this one will have like a little bit also. But yo, I think this rendering for this video is about to take a long minute. I don't know why. I did something in the settings. I don't fucking know. I'll be tweaking with stuff when I don't even have to. But yo, Last Nation, yo, leave recommendation, like, request videos that y'all would like me to react to in the future, yo. I'm gonna be here. If y'all want me to react to something, you let me know and I'm gonna freaking post it. If y'all want me to, like, do like a challenge, like have like one of my family members do a little what's it called, a collaboration or whatever, we can do that. If y'all want me to like do collaboration with another YouTuber, like some, I don't know if I get anybody big, like who's big? Dante, I fuck with him. Blasphemous, fuck with him. K Boozy, I fuck with him. Yo, Fight, I fuck with all them reactors. Yo, I fuck with Mystic. I fuck with a lot of YouTubers. Not fuck with them, but I like fuck with their content. You know what I mean? Yeah, I just want to be on that big level, bro. I just gotta freaking push out hella videos for y'all and grow my fan base of Last Nation. That's all I gotta do. What else I gotta say? What else gotta say to y'all? Follow me on Twitter. It will be in the description below. On my can't even talk. All my social medias and my info, on my YouTube account. Go follow me, like me, like talk to me. We could converse anything like that. I have no problem talking to y'all. If y'all don't like something in my videos, I could like let me know and like help me improving the things that y'all want me to do better at. Like, this is for y'all, man. I'm posting content out for y'all. If I got a problem, let me know. Yeah, we can handle it together. Simply. I don't want to have any type of beef with any of my fans. So, y'all are Last Nation. I'm Less TV. And yo, guys, I am out.